But yeah, it's like, bro, it's a multiverse film. Like, enough with the bullshit. Stop it. I hate these companies like Cinema Blend and what is it? King that comic book source page. Like, they put a bunch of
Oh yeah,
bullshit
yeah, I
up.
know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Yeah, or we got this covered. They put headlines up to fuck with people. It's like, bro, you're either the dumbest motherfucker that works at your job, you know what I'm saying, or you're just not paying attention. How, like, all right, you have the people who run Marvel and Disney telling you the shows are gonna set up the movies, and Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness
Yeah, exactly.
leads directly into Spider-Man 3. This is coming from Kevin Feige. Why, like,
This sounds yeah.
end the story. Like, you
Yeah.
don't get to come out there and say you don't think it's a multiverse film. We already got the word that it is from the people who are creating the films.
Come
Like,
on,
you
man.
are a dummy.
You already know, and this
That sounds like some Kotaku level fucking
Yes,
headline.
it's exactly what it is, and that's the shit that gets me annoyed.
in this
'Cause
day
this
and age,
motherf-
man, you got to live your personal truth. You know,
Yeah,
it's all about how you feel inside. That's the real truth, not fact.
yeah, exactly. Not fact.
Not fact.
People are dumb. Like, bro, this has been confirmed months ago. What are you talking about?
I mean,
Like,
believe what you want to believe, man. But I heard Keanu Reeves is coming back as Neo in Kingdom
He is.
Hearts 5, so I'm excited for it.
He is.
Kingdom Hearts 5.
That's what I heard.
Oh, shit.
I mean, yeah, that's my personal truth.
Well, that makes sense because that's Warner Brothers. Never mind.
Yeah, we'll make it fit somehow. We'll make it work.
Make it fit.
Easy. Yikes.
Sean O'Connell. Fuck you, Sean.
Yeah, are we looking for this dude? Are we gonna like TP his house or something? What's good?
I was thinking more
Yep.
like put him in the
Hey,
hospital.
oh, no evidence, no evidence, no evidence.
Yo, keep that energy. So when I ask you later, like, yo, any entertainment news or anything, bring that same exact energy.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
because that's dope. That's dope.
Be
Right
like, so we want to murder this guy?
Yeah.
We want to kill him?
there. We'll plan out the entire murder right on.
That's
Right.
good.
Right on
camera.
stream.
That's good.
We'll be on one of those top 10 channels so fast. Number 4. A group of podcasters decided that they wanted to set up a murder live on their stream. It did not turn out the way they intended, as all 3 members got swatted.
Yeah.
Is that how we get
Detectives
famous?
immediately got onto the plan and set up the sting.
They went to Jose's history. He had looked up how to murder quickly, poison,
Hold on.
and how to break ankles.
Welcome to the next episode of VGXL. I'm your host, Daniel, aka Games. Joining us again today is Jose and Adocad. Yeah, what's going on, guys?
What's up, man?
I always feel like I have more to say, and then it's like, wait, something else to say. So yeah, we record podcasts and talk about video games, and that's what we'll be doing.
We do things.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a long time coming. The last one was actually recorded 2 weeks ago. I had a lot of problems, so thank you. Shout out to Miss Boss Monkey who helped me fix my fucking program to get the last episode recorded. So shout out to her. And yeah, and thank you for everybody who's been listening. Follow us on all the socials and everything. You should see it somewhere on the screen if you're watching the YouTube. Or you can follow us on Twitter at VGXL Podcast or Video Games X Life everywhere else.
Yep.
That's true. That is true.
That is true.
It's true.
What is your guys' week been like?
Shite, man.
Yeah.
I mean, just work, real life work, you know.
I see.
Gotta get this podcast to make, millions already so that we can I can not work.
That's
you know,
true. Yeah.
for the man.
Yeah.
Lovely.
I hear that.
But yeah, I mean, I've been on gaming wise. I've just been playing Final Fantasy again. That's apparently the freaking hottest game right now. So many. There's this meme going around showing Yoshi P with his head down with a cigarette, and it's like suffering from success.
Success, yeah.
Yeah,
That's
because it's like because he apologized. He apologized about, to the player base. But I'm like, yo, the game's hot right now. There's a lot of wild refugees out there.
I was gonna say apologized about what?
The server congestion's been bad. Not in my
Oh, I
server per
see.
se, but yeah, there's really bad server congestion
I
happening.
gotcha.
And Walker's like a couple of months away. So it's like that's when they usually have crazy server congestion.
Right.
Is
yeah.
during every expansion. There's a old running joke from the third expansion we'll call Raban Extreme, which is like, because pretty much there was a cutscene that was supposed to happen when you walked up to a character called Ruban. And when you go up to him, you would get an error, and there was a line of players going all the way down, and you could not get the cutscene to play. And it was in the first 2 hours of the new expansion, so everybody called it like Raban Extreme. He was just like impossible to beat. And
I
so,
gotcha.
yeah, they don't want another one of those. So that's probably why he's apologizing. They're working on it, blah blah blah. But yeah. Shout out to Final Fantasy.
Nice.
I know that's a little niche, and I'm not, not everybody plays that, but I've been loving it since 2013. So
Yeah. Good for you,
Nice.
man. That's dedication.
Yeah, you've really been with them for a long time.
You really
Yeah,
been
They
loyal,
should-
man. Do they
They
send you
should probably.
things?
Yeah, I was gonna say they should probably send you a T-shirt or something.
they're gonna take me out.
They can
They're gonna
send you
take me
a
out on a
fucking
date.
keychain. This is $1.25 keychain. Thank you for your loyalty. And
Hey, I'll take it. I'd be in love if they sent me a freaking $1.25 keychain.
you could sign up for the Squeenix Awards program, bro. You could. I have enough points for a hoodie already. I think. What's your excuse?
Phoenix.
I don't know.
Yeah,
I might have points. I don't know.
you should probably check that. You probably have thousands and thousands of points.
You're a smart guy. I'm gonna do that. Thanks you.
I'm here all night, man. Here all night. Tip your waitress. Have a good one.
What about you? Have you guys been playing anything? What about you, Adokay? Have you been playing video games?
That's not
Warzone?
listen, I don't want to fucking brag out here, but I'm kind of the dictator of a small island country. Okay, that's I just I do things. I export, I import, I assassinate dissidents. It's a good time.
El Presidente.
Hey, yeah, it's Tropico 6. I'm having a good time. I just been playing old classics. I downloaded Nier Automata again for some reason. Been playing that.
I heard they fixed the Windows version, the Steam version. Apparently, I have to check it out. I don't know how
Okay.
true that is, but apparently they fixed the Steam version. So
Yeah, I don't know. I'm on Game Pass. It's been fun there. No issues on that side of things. So
I wonder if it was a Windows or a Steam issue. Who knows?
yeah, I don't know.
But
yeah,
I have to play that. I know I started it and I never got that far, and you have to beat the game 4 times to get the real ending. So
yeah. Actually, I think I beat it once, but just the first ending. So I kind of want to see what the second and maybe some other ones look like. But we'll see. I'll see how much patience I have. That and just fucking trying to solidify my Warzone settings. The fucking settings on PC Warzone are hectic.
yeah.
So
And then now I don't know if you heard about that new cheat, the way they could cheat now through like a capture card going to a computer, and it uses AI to determine, and it's undetectable because it's external. It's not like a software, but So now
Well-
even console, you can cheat on console. Apparently, I don't think it's
Well-
like a widespread cheat program. I think somebody came up with it,
I see.
and they
Well, they
yeah, they're gonna-
already
they're-
have things on console. Someone that I know closely has like this thing that you connect to your PlayStation, and it's not a strong hack. It's not guaranteed win, but apparently it gives you recoil control. It tightens up the auto aim a little bit. It's just a third party peripheral, so you connect it and it reads through the controller, so it's reading your input, I think, and adjusting on the fly.
that's so bummy to me though. It's like, yo, just get good, bro. Like I
Bro.
can't.
It's infuriating. I don't understand it. I'm just like, what's the point? All right, you cheat, you win a game, and then what? You cheated. You've learned
Yeah.
nothing. You gain nothing. You lose. Good day, sir. Like, what's the point? I don't
Yeah.
get
That's so corny to me. It's not like back in the day where you put in some codes and to have some fun with it. Like you literally just a game of skill and you're just cheating at it. That's so fucking
it.
whack.
What's the point? Like,
It's very corny.
yeah. I don't know.
It's like me saying, yeah, yo, I'm a pro, and I'm playing against my 7-year-old daughter. Like, yeah, I just get these wins,
Yeah.
bro.
So I install these cheats, and she doesn't stand a fucking chance. I just, she tries, but. But yeah,
Jose,
that was
I know
me.
you've been like super busy. Have you
Yeah,
Have you had
man.
any kind of game? I know you've been busy as
Honestly,
shit.
I jumped back into Miles Morales.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yeah, I wanted to start like doing up submissions, so kind of like in between breaks and like on my lunch, I'll just throw on the PS5, and I've been doing that.
Nice.
I did a little bit of Overwatch earlier in the week too.
Nice.
That's
Okay.
always
Okay. Cool.
it's always cool to jump back in there, get your ass whooped maybe, or be moderate, get a few wins, and just go out on a good note.
Yeah. Nah, I hear that.
Yeah, I hear that.
Oh, wait. I
Overwatch
said
feels
that.
like a
Take it
real
easy.
sport. Like Overwatch be feeling so stressful because when you take like 5 losses back to back, you guys talk like you really were out there. Like, all right, guys, listen, it's time to fucking. I don't know what we're doing out there. I don't know what's going on tonight, man. We got to stop this shit. You start getting mad serious. You see your numbers drop, and you're like, yo, man, you know what, guys? I'm gonna get out of here. And then it makes everything awkward because everyone else is like, damn, is he really leaving?
Right?
Yo, I see Diddy in your background. Look at him. He's trying to sign you.
First of all, it's Love. Okay, it's Sean Love now.
He's trying to leave you.
Wait,
And
what? Is
he's
that his name now?
Sean,
Yeah, Love. Yeah.
Sean
He,
Love.
he-
Okay.
he's trying to sign you and leave you on his label for 25 years to make money off of you.
He's like, hey, baby,
I'm a-
let me sign you and rob you for the rest of your career.
Is that why I feel like joining a cult or finding Jesus? Because
Take that. Take that.
Listen, last time you were on this podcast, you heard and found out that COVID is cured by turning off all the lights in
Mhm,
Times Square.
Times Square. Mm-hmm.
All right, now.
yeah, I wanted to.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you watch this podcast today, and if you can see the backdrop is, ironically, you can say if it's a coincidence, it's Times Square, right? All the lights are on, but Diddy's in the back holding his hand up behind Daniel, right? So basically what I'm saying is if you want to get signed to Bad Boy, we got to watch VGXL.
Heard it here first, folks.
Exactly.
Nobody wants, that's the dumbest shit. Everybody's hearing is like, no, nobody wants to get signed to Bad Boy.
I was going to say,
Not
people are
at all.
actively trying to get unsigned from Bad Boy.
Yeah.
They do not want
Bad
it.
Boy. What about Bad Boy Gaming? What if Diddy dipped his hands in Bad Boy Gaming and he
Oh
was
my
like, "Yo,
God.
I'm creating a sports team. You know, I need a podcast team. Y'all are doing it. Y'all are crazy. Yo, I'm gonna give
Yeah.
you a Bad Boy chain.
Best part,
Hell no.
best part, nobody gets paid, man. Nobody. It's the best.
Hell
Best
no.
part,
I know.
it's on love.
Yeah, it's all
If-
love.
Yo, I
We
know
don't need that
too
money
much about what most of the biggest players in Bad Boy went through that I'm like, hell no. I wouldn't even want to meet Diddy. Like,
Just in case
Like,
you got a business idea.
stop watching or listening to the podcast, dude. I don't want none of that shit. Hell no.
That's mad
Yeah,
funny.
nah. There's a certain. I had this discussion with a buddy earlier. There's a certain door you walk through in that world. That once you walk through that motherfucker, you don't come back.
You don't.
Yeah.
And it's happened to too many. Either you joining cults, finding Jesus, or getting locked up. And I don't want none of that. Yo, seeing that old video, Craig Mack looking crazy at some
Bruh.
southern church was weird.
Yeah, he joined
bro.
a cult. He joined a
Yeah.
fucking cult.
That's crazy. Like,
And then he died.
anyway.
That's what fame will do to you if you don't discover it in the right way. If you don't find out, you know what I mean? If you're not taken care of, if you don't have the right people around you, that shit will destroy you quick, man. That
Yeah.
shit's no
All right, so
joke.
today's episode of VGXL is darkness in the gaming industry.
Right?
Darkness.
Yo.
What type of darkness you think lurks in the gaming
And why
industry?
Rockstar is causing all of it.
You think
Not
there's a
even. Did
Diddy
you
in
see
the
did you
gaming
see what just
industry?
broke out like literally today, a little while ago? Today's July 21st.
No.
And good old Schreier from Bloomberg just dropped a bomb on Activision. That apparently they're getting sued, I think in California or somewhere,
Mhm.
for all the sexual misconduct, having like dudes like they would play drinking games where they crawl on the floor and like go up to like women and say like fucked up shit to them, and
Yeah.
it's crazy like that. You know, like
Wow.
they would talk about who they banged and all these nasty things in front of these women, or like these women, like there was some woman in marketing who apparently like had like really successful campaigns that made way more money, but then they promote the other guy. You know, the dude, like it'll
shit
be
like
the
that.
guys. Yeah, like real. It's like,
That's crazy.
of course, I thought this shit was over, and then you have fucking Ubisoft going through the same shit, It's like, yo, like, it's bad out there, B.
I don't get how the culture like that, because that's just, it is what it is, which is like college culture. That's what it's
Right.
frat boy college culture, or even high school culture. Like some of it's so juvenile.
Yeah,
The shit is like,
No,
how
that's
does
exactly
that?
what it is.
Yeah, but like, how does that continue into a professional workplace? Like we're a $1 billion
That's what I'm
company,
saying.
and we somehow can't tell you motherfuckers to chill. Like, hey, put your dick away. Like what?
Yeah, like
Yo.
all it really takes. That's how you know it's at a higher level, because
Yep.
Right.
the second you hear one thing, me as a boss, I would come down there and be like, listen, I'm hearing things. I hear it again. Everybody here is done.
Yeah,
I
I'll
don't
clear out
give a
this whole floor,
fuck.
baby.
I don't give a fuck if you had anything to do with it. If you heard it and didn't say shit, if
Mhm.
you were in the vicinity of it, you're done. The games will get canceled. I don't give a fuck. Like
Yeah.
we're going hiatus before I ever let some shit like that happen.
Yeah.
Exactly. Like, yo, and this shit's old now. It's like, yo, 2021, like the Me Too movement was what, 2017, 2018? It's like, y'all still going through this shit?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like-
and then it's motherfuckers who made like like, I'm not saying there's any particular type of man who should get away with doing the kind of shit that they're being accused of, but you motherfuckers did World of Warcraft. Like, stop acting like you really about to go out here and fuck. Like you're not gonna start talking to these women like
You're not that
like,
guy.
yeah, like you're just fucking that, like you're in that
Yeah.
realm. Like there's a certain type of industry you could be in where that kind of shit is just what it is.
Yeah.
Like the hip hop world, you have all those video vixens and shit. A guy could come out and say some nerdy shit like, oh, you know, it'd be nice if I could have sex with you and look like nothing, but have $1 million and they'll fuck him.
Yeah.
You know, in
Right.
the video game industry, it's like, bro, it's not that kind of party.
I was gonna say,
this
very
is
different atmosphere.
yeah, it's a very different
Very
atmosphere.
different.
This shit needs to be professional as fuck. Like, you guys are really creating a whole virtual like experience and world to like get lost in, and you got to deal with this kind of corny shit. People ain't there
Yeah.
for that.
That's definitely upper management bullshit, like you
Yeah.
said.
Yeah,
Those
that's
ain't the
coming from a higher
programmers.
level.
Yeah,
because you can have fun without fucking.
and look where it's
involving
happening. It
anything
was
like
in
that.
marketing. So
Right.
exactly,
Of course,
people probably
marketing.
don't even. Yeah.
Of
So
course, yeah.
There's no higher
that
to go
tracks.
because everybody's in on that. You know.
Yeah.
yep.
Should have known.
That's how they're bringing in the bread. So it's like, yeah, of
Mm.
course it's in the inner office.
It's always
and,
sales. It's always marketing. It's always some very fucking front-facing department that does literally zero work, but for some reason has tons of funding. I'm like, yeah.
Yeah.
It's corny, man. Like you're keeping people away from promotions. There are women who were saying that they thought they were gonna lose their job because they were often being told they were gonna get fired for like picking up their kid from daycare, or like the possibility of a woman becoming pregnant. They weren't giving them promotions. It's like,
Yeah.
you motherfuckers all got girlfriends and wives that get pregnant too, and you motherfuckers leave for months. Like, stop acting like a woman being pregnant in the workplace means she's disabled. She's
Yeah.
good until she's
Exactly.
like 7 months old, 7 months pregnant.
Yeah.
You know, just don't have her fucking lifting computers and shit.
I was gonna
Exactly.
say,
wrong with
Nah,
you?
Pfeffer, when she worked at Optimum until she was 8 months pregnant, and finally, you know, when she could barely walk and was waddling everywhere, then finally she stopped working because it's like it was any day now. You know, in the next
Yeah.
couple of weeks, I think.
Yeah.
Did she work her last day? I feel like I think like the last day of work she left, and I think like the next day she went into labor, something like that.
wow.
It was like, yeah, she worked because it was a sit down job, and that's what these jobs are. Like, I'm sure a lot of these women are just sitting down, you know, like making phone calls, be on the computer. Like,
Mhm.
what the hell is happening out here, B?
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
corny. That kind of shit is whack, and that's when you need, like, sometimes that professional approach shit doesn't work, man. Like,
Yeah.
if you're in this type of environment, like we just said earlier, millions and millions of dollars, and all this huge teams, and World of Warcraft is like a huge title, like
Mhm.
one of the biggest titles in the world. That's the focus. Like, why the fuck are you over here having these like frat like games?
Yeah.
Do that if you want, but make sure everybody's down with that. Like, you can't be douchey. You know what I'm saying? Like saying
Exactly.
rapey shit around people and like,
Yeah.
bro, that's corny. Like, not, and then it's just weird to me that like everybody is pussy. Like, you have all the women who are coming out and saying this stuff. You telling me that not one dude felt uncomfortable with that shit and
Exactly.
Yeah.
'Cause
left
they
or
scared.
said
Exactly what you
something?
said. They're
and it's because
definitely
you scared? Like, fuck out of here with that. I would
'Cause-
never let that shit rock. Never.
Yeah, that would be so
Never.
weird for me. I'd be like, and I think it's part. You know what it is? Because part of that is like you have to participate. It's like on some fucking
Yeah, and
weirdo. Yeah,
I see it the same way as if I was hanging out with a bunch of friends and I have like one or two friends who are constantly saying rapey shit. Like, bro, you're the company you keep. Understand
Yeah.
that kind of shit is ridiculous.
yeah. I
Like,
remember you. Yeah, and the whole Bill Cosby thing that people defending that, and it's like, yo, first of all, he definitely did that. He's admitted to it. It's just that he got out because, you know, when in 2005, you know, there was some, which I feel like that was a work. Like
it wasn't
you,
supposed to be used against him, pretty much.
yeah, and he was gonna do a 3 to 10 bit anyway. He did 3 years, and then there was this right when he hits 3 years. Then they find this like,
Yeah,
come
they were
on.
like, "Yo, you got to do the minimum. We're gonna get you out as soon as that's done. We're just not gonna make
do
it a
the
big
3
thing."
years and we'll get you out. Exactly.
Yeah, like I was looking at a dude on YouTube that I follow. Real like I follow some dudes because sometimes the information that they provide is still good, but their
Right.
opinions are just shit. And there was this dude who was talking, and he was like, "Yo, first of all, they don't got no case on my man Bill. Yo, Fat Joe, you gotta watch your mouth about what you said about Bill Cosby." And he tried to like incorporate this whole racial shit into it because Fat Joe's not black, but Fat Joe been in the black scene. And I'm like, bro, stop this. First of all, Puerto Ricans and blacks created hip hop in the 70s. That shit is just a known thing.
Exactly.
Like Puerto Ricans ain't guests in the house of hip hop. I don't give a fuck what no one says. We've been there from the beginning. You can go watch footage of motherfuckers breakdancing while dudes DJ'd in the beginning.
Yeah.
This shit was still motherfuckers talking about, you know, the stupid, corny, like, you know, 80s raps that we don't give a fuck about no more. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah.
We respect it. This shit it was, you know,
Right,
it
right.
paved the way. I'm not about to sit down and listen to fucking Curtis Blow.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not about to go do that. That's just some shit
Yeah.
comes on and I know it. No
Mhm.
disrespect, but that's just, I'm not in that era, right?
Yeah.
real quick,
No.
shout out to Bismarck. Key, rest in peace.
Oh,
Rest
yeah.
in peace,
R.I.P.,
Biz, man. Yeah, that's
that
so
was
crazy.
a legend. But yeah,
Yeah.
go on. You just
But
reminded me.
yeah, like my whole point is like I just don't understand how certain things could happen in certain whether it be the hip hop world, video game world, movie world. You hear shit and you being a regular dude, your reaction is to be like, the fuck, what is that shit? Like this weird shit. Like you can't be associated with just fucking anything that goes on. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
No,
Yeah.
very true.
It's
Yeah,
true,
sure.
but like you said, you are the company you keep. And you made me think when you put that. I think it was on Facebook. I was just like, that's true. Like if I ever heard any of y'all talking like yeah, I slipped to some drugs, you know, at a company party, I'd be like, what the fuck is wrong
What the
with you,
fuck
bro?
is wrong with you, bro? Like I'd end a friendship over that, and that was my whole point with
Oh,
that
yeah.
dude. He was like, "Oh, you know, you gotta watch your mouth. You know, we've been accepting you for a long time." And I'm like, "Hold up. First of all, that whole narrative is corny
I hate
because
that, yeah.
Puerto Ricans, blacks, we've been in this shit together for a long time. So if
Yeah.
you want to go and get into the fucking, I wasn't there in the 70s, my dude. I'm a 37-year-old dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I know the same shit that everybody else knows. But the fact of the matter is, you're not gonna use that and say that he's wrong for shitting on Bill Cosby. Like that man admitted to what he did.
Exactly.
You understand? He
Yeah.
said what he did. He made jokes about it on TV, like talk about dropping shit in people's drinks, and then they asked him straight out, "Yo, did you do this with the intention of this?" And the only reason he answered honestly is because it was a part of that deal, and that's what they used against him, and that's how the fucking technicality occurred where now he's out because they weren't supposed to use that against him. He was supposed to
Exactly.
come clean about shit, and he was gonna get a deal, and they just flipped it on him. So obviously that's gonna get thrown out. But you're not gonna sit here and tell me he's out of jail because of. I get it. I know that they wouldn't go on as hard on a white dude, or that whole thing is different. I'm not talking about all that bullshit. I would not trust that man with my family. You know what I'm saying? I would not leave that girl alone. I wouldn't leave that dude alone with my girl. None of that.
No.
That
You
motherfucker's a creep.
You want to hear a weird ass story? So
Mm.
my mother went to Fordham for her grad right, like her master's. Jesus.
Mm-hmm.
And it was his whatever his son's name is, Bill Cosby's son. It was like a foundation that funded her scholarship.
Yeah.
And so at the end
okay.
of it, if you graduated, Bill Cosby actually came to the school and he did a photo shoot with all the students. It was a small program. My mother was part of that, and he said that after they took the picture, he like grabbed their arm and like held it mad tight and was just like, talking to her, and she was like had to like pull away from it, and she was like, oh, it was so weird. And she tells that story to this day, how he like just like gave her a weird look and was and like held her hand or something like that, and like
Who did that? Who said that?
My mother. It was Bill next to Bill Cosby, and that in the picture he grabs her by the shoulder and pulls her in or whatever. And he's like, to get in the picture. Oh, come on, let's take a picture, and just like started grabbing.
Yeah.
It's like, what the hell? Like it was like only in the first like
Bill,
hour or
please.
two.
Jeez.
Yeah. So after like I'm telling you, she's been telling that story for like 20 years. That was a while ago. So like 20 years I think ago. And so when all this shit broke out that he was a creep, I was like, I was like, he was trying to slip on your drink.
Nah, he's a fucking serious.
Yeah, he's
deal.
a creep. That's
that
weird.
motherfucker's a creep. So I get tired of hearing motherfuckers say that. Like, yo, y'all corny with this shit. What are you happy about? Like, you got a creep. The motherfucker's 70 years old or whatever. I don't get. And I said it because I started seeing people say shit like, oh, the first time somebody on my list was like, oh, the first time I ever wanted to go to college was because of the Cosby Show. I directly made sure I talked to that person. I was like, I don't give a fuck who he made want to go to college. The fuck out of here with that bullshit. Think I give a fuck about that?
You could be heartbroken because of that, but like don't defend them.
I was gonna
don't defend them. Like, you got duped, motherfucker. Shut up.
Yeah.
You got duped because you stupid. You think motherfuckers are the same that they are in person, that they are in this weird world. That man ain't Mr. Cosby from the Cosby Show.
Exactly.
He don't. There is no Vanessa.
He's not Huxtable.
Yeah, there's no mother. Yeah, Huxtable. I'm sorry, he's not Mr. Huxtable. You know what I'm saying? With the Coogee sweaters. I don't give a fuck about that, man. Get Mr. Huxtable the fuck out of here. Oh, he made me want to go to college, and you still dropped out. You still a bum. Get the fuck out of here. You didn't succeed.
God damn.
Tell us how you really feel, though.
Nah, but this is a real individual that said this shit, and I'm looking at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? You out here defending motherfuckers, but you have problems with everything else?
Yeah.
Like, that kind of shit gets me angry, because it's like, bro, that's not when it comes to shit of having to do with rape, molestation, anything with kids, that shit's a no-fly zone, bro. I'm not trying to hear nothing unless it's all fake. The second that man said, yo, yeah, I did that, nah, get him the fuck out of here. Yeah. You could have thrown a video online of Bill Cosby getting his shit rocked, getting thrown in front of a vehicle. I would not give a fuck, bro. Yeah. I'll be like, damn, that's crazy. Like, he is no different to me than anything else. He lived right across the street from fucking, what's my man? The dude that got murdered? We're delving into the deep end. The dude that he was hooking up. He had the island.
Epstein.
Yeah.
I got you.
He lived right across the street from him, dude. He had right here, out here, like somewhere in Midtown or downtown Manhattan. He had a big ass building like that belonged to him, and it was across the street. Like he had like a townhouse or some shit belonged to him, and Epstein's like right next to him or right across the street. I remember seeing that and being like,
that dude was everywhere, dog.
I'm just tired of ignoring these obvious, like, it's just obvious, bro. Get him the fuck out of here. I don't want to hear no free Bill Cosby.
Well, that's how I felt about fucking R. Kelly. Every time, people, like when it was clear it came out the first time, people still out there playing his music. It's like, how you playing his music?
Video
like, what the fuck?
Bro,
like,
I literally, it's so bizarre.
There, like, you have kids, you have a daughter, and you sit there and you legit can play his music and then try to justify, like, yeah, it's different. It's okay. I'm not supporting him. It's like, yeah, you are. You're using a paid service to play that track. Yeah. Whatever, like, you're literally paying him.
Yep.
Like,
listen,
the fuck?
When that I know we're not on video game news. Sorry, guys.
That's all good.
We'll get back to it.
When that shit happened, I remember what the streets were like. When the R. Kelly tape dropped, it was just everybody saying, damn, yo, R. Kelly's wildin'. But everybody wanted to see it. You had the dudes in the street with the blankets on 34th Street with the bootlegs. You had everybody in the hood had that tape.
I had a copy. Yeah, my boy in high school gave it to me.
Everybody in the hood watched that tape because nobody really took in the idea that there was a child on the video. So you don't realize until after that it's like, oh shit, but what happened? R. Kelly got more famous. The remix to Ignition came out. He had the Best of Both Worlds tour with Jay-Z.
Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? Like the
After
dude
this,
became, and then
crazy.
Step in the Name of Love became like the wedding anthem.
Crazy.
People did not give a fuck
They really
about
didn't.
what he did, and now everybody gives a fuck, right? And
They
I'm
blamed
saying
her.
it,
They blamed the
they
goddamn
blame-
15-year-old.
Exactly.
What's she
And for
doing
me-
there? She shouldn't be there bent over like that. Like, what the
What?
hell?
Like, here's my thing.
Dog.
It's like, just, there's nothing wrong with saying, bro, R. Kelly had that sauce. Like, he had a recipe for greatness with a lot of these songs he hit. You know, he had really good music.
Yeah, he's producing
But-
since he was 10 years old. He better be dope.
Exactly. But number one, that whole look, everything about his whole shit was taken from Aaron Hall. Everybody knows that.
Yeah.
And number two, that motherfucker's a creep. It ain't no passes, bro. He was
Exactly.
marrying Aaliyah
Yeah.
at like 15.
Yeah.
That is a real fact. And nobody
Yeah.
says shit. That's a real fact.
Yup.
Yeah.
He married Aaliyah. And all she would ever say about him is, yo, he's a bad man.
Yeah.
And she
Wow.
didn't want to tell Dame Dash nothing because it took him everything to not let dudes fucking ruin that guy.
Yeah, he
You know
should
what
have.
I'm
He
saying?
should have let people ride on R. Kelly's son.
Yeah, I get it. Like at the moment,
absolutely, I would have been like, "Yep, this dude needs to
Yeah.
figure his shit out."
R.
take
Kelly
care of
would have
that.
been fucking over with back then, bro.
Fuck
Get out
yeah,
of here
bro.
with
You
this
can't
weirdo
do that.
shit. That's
And
the shit that annoys me.
And
You have
it's hard to
I'm sorry,
blame
go ahead.
it's hard to blame like all the industry dudes because I'm thinking about it and it's like the industry itself. It's like acting, the movies, like it seems like one big organization, one big unit. You think unions and shit like that, but it's so many just individuals doing whatever the fuck they
Yeah.
want under the banner of the music industry.
right.
But it's like that's just a dude who knows a dude who happens to have money and the ability to do shit, but no one's watching him. No one has your back. No one, you know what I mean? So
It's a sick world,
It's
bro. Listen,
crazy.
to be real, in that world, it's something I felt for a long time. That industry ain't a safe place for women and children.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Nah.
not.
It's just not.
just
It's not
anybody who's weak, you're not safe.
It's not a safe place for women and children. Any woman who's in that industry has gone through it. I know it.
Yeah,
Either
for
they've
sure.
gone through it or they've had to do wild shit just to make it half
Mm-hmm.
as quickly as one of these bum ass SoundCloud rappers.
Yep.
Yup.
You know what I'm saying? Like these motherfuckers be coming out here. That's another thing. Rappers are born like overnight now. Between the social networking shit and like how quickly things go viral, rappers are born like every day. Motherfuckers is getting into shootouts and like killing each other left and right.
Yeah.
Like there's some pretty big names getting bodied now. Like Pop Smoke got killed last year. Pop
Yeah.
Smoke was pretty big at the time, you know?
Yeah, and
Yeah,
Nipsey
King
his
Hussle.
album
Vaughn.
just dropped or about to drop, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Remember
King
real
Vaughn.
album.
Oh,
King
yeah,
Vaughn was
King
trying to
Von.
be the fucking king of Chicago. You know what I'm saying? And he got into a regular scrap, got murdered. I just don't see why the fuck the energy is like that toward other motherfuckers that look just like you. Like there's motherfuckers that like you is young dudes. Everybody's trying to get money. Everybody's trying to rap. The only thing that makes you different is that you rep a different hood, and y'all got beef over whatever the fuck the issue is, and now y'all kill each other. But every single one of these creep ass motherfuckers is walking around.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's weirdo shit. You know what I'm saying? At the
Yeah.
very least, someone like R. Kelly should have been slapped in the fucking face
Mm-hmm.
by somebody of notable, like an annoying Queensbridge dude should have been slapped the shit out of him.
Right.
Just to be like, yo, we
Yeah.
know what you are, bro. Like you're gonna get, we know what you are, but nobody wanted to disturb the bag. That's why I don't respect motherfuckers like Chance the Rapper. I hate that dude. He's a cornball. And you know
Yeah.
why? He's from Chicago, and he used to be dick riding fucking R. Kelly. He had
Yeah.
a song with him and everything. But when the whole shit with R. Kelly blew up, he was like, yo, he's been acting a certain way toward black women for too long, and I can't do that. I'm not going to release no songs with him. Lady Gaga did the same shit. Like, yo, y'all motherfuckers' career started a decade after these accusations were widely known.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And you acting like this shit's a fucking like, oh yeah, now you got this moral compass. I can't full of.
They
I'm
said,
so
well,
excuse.
That's
my
all right, that's all right,
career,
I got
my
it.
career is
You
settled.
people are full of shit.
Yeah.
That's why you don't want to be in that world. That's a dark world, bro. Like the only way you make it in that world without causing no problems is if you're just ignorant to all the bullshit. Like if you're a guy that comes in and out as a producer, does his shit, gets out, gets that money, and you just make those connections, but you don't mingle. That's the only way you avoid the weird shit. You can't mingle with these motherfuckers.
It's all about because at the end of the day, it's if you want to be a superstar, and it's like,
Right.
and I feel like that's what happened. It's funny that you're saying that because I was thinking about that with T-Pain, that he started a freaking genre. He like really made waves, and then now he kind of fell off as far as like in the limelight, but he's still staying relevant through Twitch, which I find interesting, making music and all that. But he's staying.
Yeah.
Like he's kind of staying out of it, and it just feels like maybe he just saw some shit and he's not mingling the right way to stay like really out there, like on a superstar level.
I heard a little bit more about him like in his background, so I think I know what happened to him and like his situation.
That Jay-Z shit, right?
Yeah, I mean it's the Jay-Z shit. I think it was just his overall demeanor. You know what I mean? Like coming up, like it seems like he was obliterated, like drunk at most of these events he showed up with. So at places he's supposed to be networking, hobnobbing, showing that he's someone good to work with, he's busy being like embarrassing to himself and his brand. You know what I mean? Like,
I see.
He was just slowly destroying all his bridges, burning them down, and like people were just like, dog, like you're nuts. And then after like when they saw, they were like, yo, we can take auto-tune down, and like, who we hurting? T-Pain, whatever. And so they let that shit fly, and that was it.
Def to auto-tune.
Yeah, because if you think about it now, though, everybody uses auto-tune. So he ain't got shit to do with auto-tune itself, because everybody's
all
using
the
it. Right?
rappers
He didn't even
are using
use
that
auto-tune, right? Because isn't
He definitely used it.
No, I'm saying what I'm saying is like it sounded like it, but I don't think it was actual auto-tune. That's what I heard like
No, it was
not too long ago. So I
No, it
thought
was auto-tune.
I thought it was like a technique that that inspired or eventually created, or I don't know, something like that. Anyway, that's
it was auto-tune, but either way, whatever it was him personally. It seems like he's maybe grown now, but I don't know why I know this much about T-Pain. But it just seems like
they
he was
had
a
a pretty
jerk.
good
He was just an
behind
asshole
the music
before.
about him.
Yeah,
I
I mean,
see.
honestly, if you watch his stream, he just tells on himself. He spills tea on himself all night long. It's fucking great. And even though he doesn't see sometimes, you're like, oh, I see why that happens. Like, cause dog, you an asshole. Like sometimes you just need to shut the fuck up.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying
Yeah.
though. It's like it still comes back to like if you're embarrassing yourself, not playing the game right, you're gonna that's it. You're done. Your career's can easily be
Yeah.
over. You're not
It's
getting
high
gigs.
school.
Yeah,
It's high school.
it's
Ladies
like-
and gentlemen,
Listen,
everything is high school. Music
not
industry,
trying to
high
preach.
school. All of it.
I'm not trying to preach anything that nobody's ever heard before, but the truth is, man, that industry literally kills people. Like if you're not prepared to
man.
really go down that route 100%, like a dude like a Mac Miller should have never died to drugs.
yeah, that was weird.
Mac Miller should have never died to drugs. Mac Miller made about $6-7 million by himself independently one year, and I was following that dude since he released that Kids mixtape, and I remember saying, yo, I like his choice of instrumentals. He had like some Lord Finesse instrumentals he was rapping over that turned into like a lawsuit, but the guy had good delivery. He looked like he was on top of his game. Like you could see the potential.
Yeah.
As the years went on, he kept getting bigger and bigger and mingling with more and more underground artists. Instead of going higher and trying to do the pop shit, he was going more underground, and that's what gave him people fucked with Mac on a heavy level.
Yeah.
You know, like
they
he was
did.
heavily respected.
Mhm.
Once he was like solidified, everybody fucked with Mac behind the scenes and in front. But then he had that high profile, relationship with Ariana Grande. Ariana Grande is like fucking massively big. Like that's like Mariah Carey, New School, Britney Spears levels of fame. You know, like she's that big.
That's what fucked him up, in my opinion.
Right. That's what fucked him up, because you never saw him act like that before that. That relationship happened, and then they broke up, and she was like with a new dude, like Pete Davidson, like a few months later.
Yeah.
And she was all about it. Like she was pushing that shit all over the place, and like my man fell into a crazy deep depression. If you listen to that album Swimming, that whole album is wildly depressing. He has songs about Ariana. He has songs about him drinking and doing drugs and all this. And when they found him, he was like in a fetal position, like looking like he was praying. You know,
Yeah.
That's weird.
like he was praying, like, let me please, let me get out of this. Like
That's
he
what I'm
must
saying,
have
man.
felt that shit.
You gotta be
'Cause it's
mentally
a-
strong, man.
yeah, you can't. Yo, that industry's crazy because every waking minute they spend doing press and touring and doing all that shit. Any other minute you get, you're not trying to go to therapy. You're not trying to go talk about feelings. You're trying to go with your loved ones. You're trying to spend time with your girl, your friends, and half the time there's gonna be extracurricular activities. Not everybody is as fucked up as others, so everybody sees it as a big party. Like, oh yeah, we got coke, we got pills, we got this. Long story short, all that shit is laced with fucking fentanyl and is killing everyone.
Yeah, that shit is nuts.
See, it's crazy because
It's
it's like swinging it back to the gaming industry, because that's what led us to this. It's like just money just fucks with people and power, and that's the shit that's like the worst, because it's like you said, like in music they actually have influence, power, and all that, and then it's like, so in these little corporate worlds, it's like, they see a little bit of like people getting nervous around them, and that's how you lead to having crawling on your knees drinking game type shit, whatever the hell's happened over at Activision. It's like, stick to making Call of Duty and stop with this. Stop thinking like you hot shit. And that's the craziest part. It's like,
there's just so many ways to have fun that don't involve weird shit like that. There's so many other things you could do that don't involve any sort of sexual misconduct at a workplace. I don't get it.
It's just people in power, people who make it to a position of power are like, if you notice, a lot of them act the same. It's like, it's rare to have a cool boss.
They're just like super horny. Like, man, now that I'm in fucking power, I'm just ragingly horny and angry at people.
When you see beautiful, when you've been a nerd your whole life, studied hard, didn't party in college, and even if you did, it's like, yeah, when now you can tell, hey, do whatever I want. You know what I mean? It's like that shit goes to your head, and it's like, it's wild out there.
It's just a very, I think, I'm saying some shit that's obvious as fuck, but it's just sick that's where people's minds go.
Yeah.
Like that's like me right now. If tomorrow I woke up and I'm like, I get an email or like someone comes to my crib with a suitcase, like, yo, listen, long story short, bro, something happened. Someone in your family left you some shit years ago, and we finally tracked you down. This $500 million is yours, and you're CEO of like fucking Wafer Industries or some stupid shit. Like, I just get power, and I have like fine ass women working with me all the time, bro. Do you really honestly believe that because I'm a millionaire now, my mind is gonna say, damn, yo, I'm gonna violate shorty,
right?
Like, I'm gonna talk to her so crazy.
Everybody.
I'm gonna talk to her so crazy that she's gonna have to fuck me.
Yeah.
Like, bro, are you fucking stupid? Like, for me, if anything, it'd just be that shit's supposed to. You don't even gotta like.
Exactly.
Again, it's just a certain mentality, bro.
I
hate when people say, "Oh, what about him? Like, why would he have to rape anybody? He's Bill Cosby was a good-looking guy back in the day, and did you see the woman who accused him? Like, you motherfuckers live in a superficial world.
Yeah.
Like, you live in a world where you think people are only gonna fuck with you. Some people will do some foul shit like that just because they don't want to see you live normal. There's dudes that it's all about power. Dudes who do that shit and ruin a girl's life just because they want to hurt someone.
Exactly.
It has nothing to do with your looks.
Yeah.
And the thought, it's like the thought
disgusting.
of hurting them and them being scarred or whatever. It's like, that's the whole trip.
I'm gonna inflict some type of pain and torment on this person. And power, the struggle. That's what these motherfuckers. That's some next level sick shit. That's what I'm saying. It's in somebody already. Whether you're poor or rich, that shit is in someone already. If that's the first thing you decide to do when you get that money, because any motherfucker with money, I would not. Yo, you crazy, bro? Every girl, I feel like laws when it comes to that kind of shit just need to change in general. Like, if there's anybody in New York State that should be able to hold a fucking gun, like a concealed carry permit, and use it in self-defense, like a stand your ground type law in New York, it should be women.
Right?
Yeah.
Like, you give it, like, they can't get nothing else but like a 22 something that'll do, you don't need a Glock fucking, you don't need all that crazy shit. Just something that like, yo, you can't. I do not feel safe with my girl walking anywhere.
Yeah,
and it's crazy that you said, because in the part of New York I'm in, it's fairly quiet, and and it feels normally safe, but it's like, yo, in the first year I was here, right down the block, woman was in front of her house, dude pulls her to the side in a little alleyway, rapes her right there, right next to her house. And this is like on a
Wow.
right, like a 5-minute, 10-minute walk. No, like a 5-minute walk down the block. And I was like, yo, that shit
That's nuts.
fucks
Yeah.
with me. Yeah, it's like it's
Bro.
not a everyday thing, obviously, but it's like the fact that it was like right there in a fairly, and this is a pretty safe neighborhood. It was, a lot of
Yeah.
people were in shock. It's, there's houses here. It's not like the hood, and it's like, yo,
Right.
it was just and right
Bro.
next to her crib too. Like that was
A
the
f-
worst part. Like you literally steps from, feet from your house, and somebody
Yeah.
pushes you to the side. Like that shit was fucked up.
That shit is
Yeah.
traumatizing, and then to do that too, like, bro, listen, there should like it's all bullshit. Like for me, it's a very simple thing. I can't be in power ever. This shit'll look like a fucked up comic book when I'm done with it, cause I'll let motherfuckers get killed. I'll have street dudes just doing shit to people. No jail time. Like it'll be reckless out here. People will be out here trying to just kill anybody. It'll go wrong. I'm admitting that. Like I can't, cause I can't. I don't have the patience. Like, do you understand that half the time I don't even know how we got so deep into this part of it, but it's because of this Activision shit, right?
Yeah,
You know how
exactly.
many times? Do you know how many times women get raped and get sexually assaulted and get their fucking mind ruined and they can never be the same, and then they go through like a year or two of like trials and trying to figure out a way to get justice, and these motherfuckers walk.
Yeah.
There's got to be nothing more like, bro, son, there's got to be nothing more upsetting than that. You're going to tell me that man don't deserve to get it?
Exactly.
Like, motherfuckers deserve. There's some people out here. I hate when I hear that shit. No one deserves to die. What? Like, what are you talking about? We live in a real world. Like, whatever bullshit your parents taught you as a kid that you brought with you to your dumbass adulthood, shit ain't real. Motherfuckers deserve to get a lot of shit done to them. There's
Yeah.
a lot of people who deserve a lot of good and a lot of people who deserve a lot of bad.
Exactly, because that whole raping shit, that shit kills me. Like you said, like you've seen there's videos out there where the fucking judge is like, well, maybe you should dress a little better. Like, what the fuck?
Like, how are you gonna this has always been my take on that whole idea of women, you got to dress a certain way to, so that men don't rape you. Like, bro, listen to me. First of all, it goes both ways. For me, it's a very simple thing, and I always ask people this: your opinion could be your opinion, but what advice would you give your daughter, right? Like, if I know my daughter's gonna go to like a place where there's a lot of male activity or a park or a certain thing, and I know that she's gonna be wearing some wild shit where like it's obviously gonna get crazy attention, my advice to my daughter, because I'm not stupid and I'm not in I don't live in a world where I think everybody's just gonna respect her. You know what I'm saying? That would be lovely, but we don't live in that world. You can't count on the kindness of strangers. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
for me, my solution to that would be, yo, I don't think you should wear that because motherfuckers are gonna fiend. You know that not everybody is like all these other, there's some guys who respect and look, but they ain't gonna ever dare say nothing or touch. There's other dudes that are reckless and they think they know you and they think that they have an opportunity, and they get tempted and they don't know how to fucking act.
It's true. Yeah.
I'm not saying that it's your responsibility to fix his temptation. I'm saying that I would feel like an idiot if my daughter goes out and 8 hours later I get a call from a cop like, yeah, she was raped, she was wearing this, and I watched her leave my house like that and I didn't even mention it.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, it's her decision, but I will give her that advice. Listen, baby, I think you should, not because you have to, but you know how these motherfuckers are. I don't trust them. You shouldn't either. I just don't want nothing to happen. But at the end of the day, if you feel like you're gonna be okay, you're gonna be with a certain group of people who got your back, and you're not gonna be left alone. Like all these stories I hear of people leaving their friends alone and shit. Like, yo, then you're good. If you feel you got it under control, I trust you. But I would be crazy to not mention that because motherfuckers are sick.
Exactly. No, you're absolutely right. There is like a slight truth to like being careful with what you wear because it tempts the creeps. It's like, but for a fucking judge to really be like, oh, like, really blame them because,
exactly.
It's like, fuck you. First of all, a girl should be able to walk down the street butt ass naked and not get raped. Will that happen? Obviously we live in the real world, so those things can happen. But it's like it shouldn't happen, and you should be punished like a motherfucker if it does.
Yeah, there's no way you're gonna sit here and tell me, oh well, maybe you should dress more like hun. These motherfuckers should not be like, you understand how many situations We all been in parties, just situations where there's mad people around, drunk as fuck. Never once have I. You know what's funny? One time a guy tried to say something and we almost killed him in my apartment. We almost killed him. You might have been there that night. It was a Halloween night. It was a Halloween party, and he came with some girls that we're not really that cool with. They were his friends, and he had the nerve to say something about one of the girls at the party. He says some shit like, "Oh, you see that girl in that outfit? It looks like she's trying to get fucked."
I think
He says that to a dude he don't know, and then that's my man's. That's not only my man's sister. That's Alex's sister, and Alex would have stabbed him right there. But that was also my man Bash's wife, and they're both there.
Yikes!
I had to go to Gabe's girl at the time, and I was like, "Yo, get this motherfucker out of here, because we're gonna kill him."
Yikes!
And she was like, "What happened?" I was like, "He said something. Get him out." They didn't want to do it. They were like shook to do it. I had to go to his friend, and I was like, "Yo, my man, you came with him, right?" And he was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Get him out of here before y'all both get smoked."
Jesus.
And they were done.
Like, okay,
and we had to, and I
see it.
like, as they were going on, he's like, "Yo, what happened?" I had to really like just push him out, like, "Get the fuck out of here, bro. Like, you crazy." Just because he said that. So if you fuck with people who do creepy shit, it says something about you. Like, you just a certain type of dude. You cool with that kind of shit.
Yeah,
I don't give a
exactly.
fuck what nobody says.
Nah, exactly. No,
I'm with
that's
you.
You cool.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because I don't know if it was that same party, but I remember there was that one part with your neighbor who was getting wild, and I guess remember she had like a daughter there, and then that dude found out.
Tamar,
that she was being wild. You should have seen the thirst in this dude's eyes, yo. Like for this, like he got so thirsty. He's like pulling her arm, like, "Yo, let's go to the bathroom," and then she didn't want it. Like, yo,
Jesus
it's like,
Christ.
yo, dudes get so freaking crazy. Like he was acting like, and it wasn't like, no offense, it wasn't like she was like the most gorgeous girl. It's just that she was putting out, and dude like was fiending, like, yo, calm down. Like I saw when he was doing that, he was like trying, like, oh, he wanted to leave her daughter there, and like, I was like, yo. Everybody was telling like, yo, calm down. You can't just leave it. Like, yo, that shit was weird.
You see, like, that's the kind of shit that's another thing. If people act like that out on the open, I don't trust you.
Exactly.
Like, you a creep, bro. Like, listen, you a creep. There's just no way around it. Motherfuckers who do shit like that, you're creepy. If you get turned on by trying to do that kind of shit, you're creepy. Like, if you're in a workspace and you see girls crawling around into cubicles and you're saying wild shit and you see that they look uncomfortable and you just there, bro, all of y'all motherfuckers are corny. Like, I would disown my kid for doing some shit like that, bro.
Yeah, I don't know.
I'd be like, I didn't raise you like that, you fucking scumbag.
I'm trying to
Get outta
envision
here.
that. Like, how do you even let that rock? How do you
don't
just as
know.
a human watch that happen or see it happening, even hear about it happening? Like, if I worked on the floor above or below them and I'm like, they're doing what upstairs? Like, where the fuck am I working right now? Like, wait, run that by me one more time? Like, nah, like, that can't be what I just heard. What the fuck?
Yeah.
Frat boy
That'd be
culture.
outrageous.
What's you already know one of the biggest causes of frats getting negative attention is what? Girls getting drugged, girls getting raped. There is a problem there, bro. Like, there's a serious problem there. I would never let I would never suggest to my daughter go to any type of frat party.
Yeah.
None of that.
Hell no.
None of that. I just don't. It's nothing but a bunch of fucking scumbag, horny dudes who who are in a bubble. A lot of these motherfuckers don't know that what they're doing is genuinely violation.
Exactly.
Like, they're so sick and corny and weird that
like
they
a
think that in their like their little hometown, all these motherfuckers on that Activision team, I guarantee you, these are like little hometown corny motherfuckers. There's no big city dudes in here who are just cool with this kind of shit. And I know it sounds crazy, but that plays a role. Because when you live in a bubble and you grow up in that shit and then you try to venture out into the real world, you bring all this weirdo fucking hometown football shit with you. Like this frat like bullshit ass idea, like, you bring that with you. That's a lot of the problem. These motherfuckers live in a world that they don't know what they're doing. That's why you see dudes on TikTok doing corny shit and like racist content on TikTok, and then they get exposed and it's like, oh, I'm so sorry, I'm not a racist, I didn't know. It's like, you live in a bubble if you don't know that shit's gonna cause problems for you.
Yeah.
I don't buy that shit. I don't buy that. I don't want to hear any sort of apology for racism at this point in time. It's like, word.
Yeah, the days the days of apologizing for racist shit, sexual misconduct, creepy shit in the workplace or anywhere else, those days are over.
Yeah.
People need to start getting beat the fuck up.
Yeah.
The justice system don't do shit no more. The only time I feel like justice is served is when one of these creep ass motherfuckers gets like 2 or 3 years and they go straight to general population. You know why? Because I know that man's getting fucked up.
Yeah.
I know he's getting it. If he don't huddle up with like whatever team of people he belongs with, like, you know, the white people, automatically you end up with the Aryan nation just because you got to get with someone. You know what I mean? Puerto Ricans, you end up with the Latin kings and shit, because if you're not ganged up, you're gonna get fucked with. You know what I mean? It's like that. Yeah. But if you're genuinely a person who has that negative of a reputation, you're not gonna come into a squad and be good. They're gonna treat you like a hoe. They're gonna have you wearing makeup. They're gonna have you doing a bunch of wild shit because they don't fuck with people who do creep shit like that.
Nah.
Everybody knows how rapists are treated in jail.
Yep.
Not well.
You know what I'm saying? Not well. You gotta be in a house full of rapists for people. Bro, I just saw a story the other day of a guy that got killed by another dude who was accused of the same shit as him. And it was because he felt like he saw himself in that person.
Oh, wow.
It was like one of them YouTube videos where it was like
deep
this guy
shit right there. God damn.
Yeah, like this guy was molesting a child, and it was a known thing. He was like being looked at the cops for it, and this other guy who was being accused of the same thing heard about that and killed him because he didn't fuck with him because of what he was being accused of. But he's accused of the same thing. He was on the registry and everything. So it's all like you can't gamble with motherfuckers who think like this. Like, this is just, the world is full of weirdos, bro. You got to keep yourself good and stay away from that shit.
Yeah.
That's fucking nuts.
And even if, I feel bad for these women. They try to break into the world. They were obviously, but none of these women came into the world thinking that this shit was going to be the I never heard of this. Yeah. Like, this ain't like, you wouldn't do, like, what kind of shit? I've seen, like, playrooms and like arcade machines everywhere, and like a mainly male dominated atmosphere, because that's what it is. It's like a lot of fucking dudes. But now that you're trying to get more women into the world, women who have great ideas, excellent talent, a lot of these dope ass fucking games and character designs and shit are women.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
True.
A lot of that shit is fucking women. And you're gonna, like, I sound like a ill white knight right now. It's not it. I'm just, this shit is really ridiculous.
Yeah,
that shit is unacceptable, bro. And that's crazy.
And it's funny you say that, because that whole white knighting shit is just toxic ass dudes not liking the fact that, there's actual reasonable males out there that don't like shit like that. You know what I mean? It's just like, that whole rapey shit, or getting like dudes who get mad because the girls are like attractive, and it's just like that whole that incel shit. Yes,
that's what that is. And here's the thing: we tend to forget we're all gamers here, right? Gaming, the gaming community, a lot of times is filled with people. You have a huge part of it where it's like a lot of social. People could be very social. People could be very communicative, and like start these whole like groups of people, and like, you go to events together and do all this stuff. But there's a whole other section of the game where people are loners, where people are just like socially awkward, suffer from anxiety, depression and stuff. And video games has always been associated with that kind of, like, don't stay in your room all, like in the 90s, that was a thing, like, oh, don't stay in your room all day fucking playing video games, because it was like people were like kind of melting away. A lot of those people ended up becoming great game developers and shit,
Right.
But the fact that I'm saying is, like, in a world where like it feels like you should be more understanding of, like, what this world is full of, who these people are, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, these different, if you're a gamer, that there are different types of gaming cliques. Like, you have the first person shooter pro gamer world. That shit's a whole different world from like the fighting gaming community.
Yeah, it's true. Yeah.
Yes.
The FGC, like, there's different, like, if you go to the fighting game community got mad hood people.
Yeah.
Mad Latinos, mad blacks, right? And the reason is because we were all playing that shit
We're
together.
Naturally violent. Oh. That too.
Yeah, naturally fat. You know what I'm saying? You had blacks and Hispanics who were like heavily grew up in that fucking world, like that FGC community.
And it's-
There's no
Yeah, and
That's why you see a lot of that.
That goes back to the arcade days, like like after school
Exactly.
at the arcade. That was some of the best times of our childhood. Was like being competitive with each other in the arcade. So yeah, a lot of that shit carried over for
Exactly.
sure. Yeah.
Like right now, for kids who are like 18, 19 years old, who might have not exactly experienced arcades when they were in full bloom out here, when the shit was crazy, and didn't really understand, don't know that, like what you know how it was when you went to the arcade, putting your quarter on the screen, waiting your turn.
Yeah.
You know, oh, can I come in? All the like the etiquette of arcades back in the day.
Yeah.
They didn't really experience that, but they have the FGC, and you have these live events, these Evo-ish events, and the smaller events that follow that format, and that kind of gives them the same feeling. That competitive feel is there, 100%.
Yeah.
It's just the setting is different. You know what I'm saying?
Yo.
But you have like a lot of different groups of people, a lot of different types of cliques and everything like that. But it's always been known that, like, you know, you have like your awkward people, you have your really active people, the fighting game community, the sports only guys.
Yeah.
There's people who play only 2K shit, you know. Back in the day they only played Madden, you know what I'm saying? That's just a thing, you know what I mean? It just fucking fucks me up when stuff like this is happening, and like did all you dudes get into this industry for this? Like, that's weird shit.
Yeah. Shit, give me 1 second.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah, that shit don't make sense to me, man.
No, it's you know what it is? It's probably a lot of these middle management positions where it's, you know what I mean? It's some dude who maybe doesn't even give a fuck about gaming, has no interest in it. They just know, I got this middle management job, I'm managing people, I'm VP of, you know, whatever the fuck it is, and they're the jerk offs that are like, yo, I don't give a fuck about this gaming shit. I'm here like, all right, that's a nice piece of ass, that's a nice piece of ass. Like,
Yeah,
put something together so I can get close to this.
like, it's not like you're expected to not, like, if you're in that world, you're in marketing or you're a developer or whatever, I'm sure there are going to be moments where there's interest in the office and people like each other. It's totally different, you know, like,
Yeah,
nobody,
that's fine.
but this shit that they're describing, bro, is like next level fucking weird shit.
Yeah, that's crawling around, like, and that's happening in the office. They're crawling around on all fours, like.
Yeah, and then I hate this
That's
typical
weird.
ass response, like, we value diversity and strive to foster a workplace that
Yeah.
offers. Bro, enough. Like, I'm tired of hearing this kind of stuff. There's got to be a moment where you just disregard this kind of shit, because this is going
That's
to
the
end up on
thing.
a front page. You know, this is nonsense. Like, if you're going to tell me I worked my whole life to get into an industry where this is what I'm going to see on the regular basis, then I'm just going to go back to school or something. I don't want to be a part of that shit.
Yeah.
Or you got to air that out. That's not, like, you got to air that info out. This shit got to be blown out. Like, it should be blown to all the, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
it needs to be blown up to the biggest extent.
What are we talking
It's
about?
just way too mainstream of an industry for this shit to be happening. You know
Oh,
what I
like
mean?
the Activision stuff?
Yeah, like music, all right, it's very loose. Movies, even, all right, it's very loose. You know, there's certain industries where you're like, okay, I can see how that happened. Very loose, kind of fitting industry. You know what I
Right.
mean?
But this is corporate
There's
America. Like,
Yeah, there's nothing loose about a development company, literally called development. Like, just in that one word, like, that already implies rigidity, fucking planning, fucking professionalism. Like, what?
Mhm.
yeah.
Let's talk about the fact that they're missing wages, back pay, fucking, hold on, what else was
It's a
there
bunch of
here
fu-
that I read?
No, we got a bunch of cowboys on our hands, fellas.
Listen, unpaid wages, pay adjustments, back pay, lost wages, benefits for female employees. How, after you sign a contract, how do you not give your employee what you're supposed to?
I don't understand why.
That's like
dudes
me
hate
work. I
women
work for
so
the
much.
city. Yeah, like, what the fuck is wrong with you? Like, how are you gonna?
This is
like,
why we
I'm
need
tell-
legal prostitution, my friends. Get all your anger and frustration out.
Yeah, like I don't
Take it out
understand.
on a lovely woman
Nah,
who gets
bro,
paid
what
for
we
the time
need-
and just Get it out. Like something, I don't know, something's got to give.
But even that's gonna get shitted on, because then there'll be freaking millionaires out there, who made it being a prostitute, and it's just like someone's gonna be mad at that. It's like
that's fine. I'd rather be mad at them. You mad at them because they know how to take a dick? Like what? I don't know.
It's the idea that you live in a world where if you provide, it's like there's no shortage. That's the thing. A man who works for Activision, a lot of these offices are in like San Fran and like Silicon Valley and shit like that.
Yeah.
Where you hear a lot of these stories, like Rockstar. Like we've heard different things from Rockstar. Like there's been different companies who have had allegations and shit like that in the past. Now, if you're so close to somewhere like Vegas where you could fuck and it's legal, like just take a trip, make it a weekend, bro. Go do something. And the idea that you can't control your fucking like temptation so bad that you gotta like let girls walk around, like crawl around on cubicles or floors and like do weird shit. It's like there's a certain level of like sadistic pleasure in that shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it's like it's kind of weird for me. It's just like they're doing that in an industry that's so popular, and they're doing it in an industry where this information obviously will easily come out. Now imagine what happens when nobody finds shit out.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like you got these women doing really demeaning shit. Like they're fucking with these girls, obviously. Imagine what happens when no one could find out. You know what I'm saying? And that's the creepy shit. It's like these dudes like that. For me, if I'm the guy in power and I'm not on that creep shit, which is what it looks like is happening, like at a higher level, there's got to be like some creep shit going on,
right?
Because they're cool with it. If I was the person in charge, the second I hear anything like that, I'd be like, yo, listen, I don't know if what you did was true. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna investigate, but you're done. Like you had girls walking around on the floor and shit. Like that's wild already. You do any of that weirdo shit, you're done.
Yeah.
Like you might not go to jail for rape because we're gonna investigate it. Maybe that's not maybe that's made up. Maybe it's true. Who knows? But you're not working here no more.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you're not representing this company no more. You crazy. First of all, you understand that working for a company like that, everything's on the clock, bro. So it's like that's a constant party. That shit sounds like a fucking party. That shit don't sound like anything work related. Like on that level, you're already stealing company money to do weird shit. Like get out of here, bro.
I think this is a great opportunity for the governor of Las Vegas or Nevada to say, hey, game development companies, come to the desert, baby. Build your company here. All that sexual harassment shit, we'll take care of that. We'll send fucking ranch bunnies to your place of work. There'll be like a little daycare.
So that's the thing, though. It's like it's not just sex. It's just like people just want power and they want to know that the woman doesn't want to do it. You know?
It's not the desire. It's not the desire. It's not that pent up.
If you just make it not taboo, isn't that part of it? The taboo part of it. You know what I mean?
But that's a whole lifestyle. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm trying to dig in deep here. Like, what is this? Like, what's happening? What's wrong with these fucking weirdos, man? I'm
gonna take a shot in the dark and say a lot of these motherfuckers were like, then they didn't get asked like that. You know what I'm saying? They're not used to female attention. They remember these girls who shitted on them back in the day. They're not exactly, maybe not the best looking dudes, but now they got some money. Now they could just kind of make shit happen.
Because I'm thinking about it. Is that really who you think is doing it? Because in my mind, I'm like I mentioned when you stepped away, was like I'm visioning some fucking dude, some middle management guy who went to school for business and management and doesn't know shit about games, doesn't give a fuck about games. He just knows I'm making a ton of money, and since it's a game company, there's very little that I'm doing as a management dude. And I wasn't a frat. I'm cool, and so I'm just bringing that here. So it's like it's not the dude we're envisioning, the neck beard and all that. It's a slick fucking cool dude he's just an asshole.
I mean,
it could be that too. But a lot of these dudes had their little moment where they, even if you're the most busted guy, if you're the most successful person, you're like a millionaire. That to them, they think that they're the shit, so they think they could get whatever.
Or it's a mix. It could be like they got bullied. Maybe they are the good-looking guy or whatever, and they just got boring. Maybe they get women all the time, but now you got power. Like I said, there's a difference between getting women and making somebody submit to you because you have power. There's a completely different thing.
Yeah.
It's just the whole feeling of power. And exactly. It's hard to understand because we're not fucking douchebags.
Yeah.
You know,
and
it's
is this
like-
at the main office, or these are like? Because I'm trying to put this together in my mind of how it could happen. So like, is this like they're acquiring like smaller independent companies, and then before they can really get in there?
No, this is. I mean, it seems like it's
Is
like
this at the main office?
Yeah, because it was the
Like-
marketing. It wasn't like a studio. It was like at the marketing. Like
Yeah.
one some of the women complaining, because I haven't really read all the details, but the details I did read was about like pay discrepancies between like marketing campaigns, things like that. So this is
I
again
see.
at the upper levels in the more main, in like a
Yeah.
headquarters thing. Yeah, because that
Oh,
doesn't
yeah.
seem
If
like
it's
it's
for
a
money,
studio. Is that like
Well,
like if
if it's on the
Ubisoft,
paycheck,
Ubisoft,
that's definitely up
it's
top.
that it's like in the develop like lead
Well-
devs, you know, have done stupid
Right.
shit. Yeah.
Well, this is
Okay.
what makes me feel like it might be in the
Alright.
studios also. I think it's a really big thing. The only reason is because of this one sentence. They said, male employees proudly come into work hungover, play video games for long periods of time during working, while delegating their responsibilities to female employees, engage in banter about their sexual encounters, talk openly about female bodies, and joke about rape. So just that part about playing these games for man long, it sounds like these dudes don't even give a shit about testing for bugs or whatever their task is. They're just there they're hungover playing, and they letting the girls do all the work.
Besides all
So
the
this-
rape talk, this sounds like the best place on the planet to work.
Oh, the
Besides
hungover.
the rape talk.
right.
Yeah, and it's like, I think all of that shit is fine and dandy if you have a fucking operation. Like, if you guys have a whole thing where it's like, shit, you know, Mark and Esmeralda are going out tonight, they're gonna have a rager, so tomorrow's gonna be it's gonna be a little more extra responsibility for us. Next week they're gonna be taking over side B or whatever. You know, like you gotta kind of help each other out if you're gonna be coming into work hungover and shit. That's regular stuff. You know what I'm saying? But everything else about like pushing off the responsibilities to the girls,
Yeah,
because they're
nah,
not
this
getting paid
is-
for that.
Yeah,
know what I'm
this is somebody up top in marketing.
It's just
Like the head of marketing must have been like somebody's nephew, somebody's brother, and then like once he was given the reins of it, they just pretty much stepped away and never looked
it's
into it
it's
again.
it's a culture. It's an office
Yeah.
culture thing. So it's
And
like
he
I'm
just
sure
went
that it was
apeshit.
probably fine one day, and then like you said, somebody takes over. You know, it's
Mhm.
cool. You know, drinks with the freaking VP of that department, and it's just like, you know, like, yo, bro, like, let me just chill out today. Like, we'll just get the work done. Tell Cynthia to do it. You know what I mean? And it's like,
Oh yeah, look,
Yep.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but
yeah.
high-ranking executives
yeah.
and creators engaged in blatant sexual harassment without repercussions.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's all upper level shit. It's
Whoever
'cause-
was at the very top of marketing, whoever was that buffer between the marketing and like the rest of Activision, it was probably it had to be them. Because it was just
I'm
like,
telling you,
nothing gets
I've
past me,
seen
so.
dudes like this though. You know, at this hospital I went to, right? He first of all, he's like a nobody. He's like the head of engineering. Fine,
what's his name?
won't get into all that just yet. But nothing that's too crazy. But what I mean with the whole power thing, like, so he goes, and just the way he talked to the chick was just like what really killed me. That I was like, yo, he's one of them guys, because he's like I said, he's only had I obviously, since I'm I'm there to repair, so I deal with engineering guys a lot, and
Yeah.
so he's head of engineering. He's always trying to be like a bro with me, and I'm just like, yeah, whatever. And so the girl makes some copies, and the top one was colored, and then the rest of them were like black and white. You know, like, who makes color copies all the time? I mean, it's probably something not important. You know what I mean? And so he's like, oh, why is this one not in? Why is this one in color and the rest not? She's like, oh, because that's the original. And he's like, the other ones are copies. And he's just like, you can't. He's like, but why didn't you? Like, he was trying to find a way to be a smartass. And he's just like,
yeah.
but these should be in color too. Like, why not just do everything like that? Like, instead of just saying, yo, can you just make these color too? Like, he's just asking questions, stupid questions. Like,
Right,
what's
just to
wrong
be an
with you, man?
asshole.
Like, why are you even talking like that to homegirl? Like, leave her alone. Just be like, yo, there was a topic. Okay, you know what? I didn't say nothing. Make these color. Like, that's all you gotta say. Why are you
Yeah,
but
exactly.
you know, if this one's color, you know,
So let me ask you, when you saw that the other ones weren't coming out color, you thought black and white was the way to go?
yeah,
You thought that was good?
exactly. You got it, like almost exactly like that.
Yeah.
That was the demeanor. Exactly.
I work with nothing but douchebags like that. I hate
I
a lot of my coworkers.
exactly like that. That's a power trip shit. That's like you just want to talk down to mommy for just because you can. You know, and when you see people quiver in front of you, that's why certain bosses don't like. I didn't get along with them, or I got along with them because I didn't eat shit from them. And that's a lot of times, just like any bully, when you stand up to them, then they wanna back away, and that's what it is. It's like
what they're doing is they're verbally without actually saying it, is they're letting you know how tiny their dick is.
Pretty much, yeah. The little peen
what that
energy,
is.
exactly.
Yeah,
because
that's
there's no
all it is.
reason to talk to somebody like that, and that's why whenever a boss try to get smart with me, I'm just like, nah, I'm good. Like, you know, all the time, like, why you didn't have to give me an attitude? Like, is everything okay? Like, I talk
yeah, like you don't
like you
bro,
good
listen,
though? You need to
man.
talk?
Exactly.
Don't talk to me the way you would talk to me if you saw me in the street. That's why it's like, don't do that corny shit. You know I'll fucking slap the shit out of you if we weren't at work.
Exactly. That's why I'm like, I worked at a retail store, you know, at a sporting store, Paragon Sports, and you worked there with me, Jose. You remember Paragon?
Yeah,
remember what was it, Carey or whatever, the Jamaican dude from?
Yeah, he ran the warehouse on the fourth floor.
In front of the whole warehouse, I stood up to him because he's like, oh, the holidays coming, so we gotta make sure we're on our A game. And he was the hardest guy to talk to. You ask him a simple question like, oh, I don't know why you can't figure that out. He would he would bark on you. So in front of the whole fifth floor, I was like, all right, you know, I get holidays are coming, but it's like, you know, you're not very approachable. It's like, you know, now that there's gonna be a lot of stress going on, like, you know, maybe like keep that in mind. Like if we come ask you a question, like maybe not bark on us, you know, it's a little hard to talk to you. Yo, after that, dude was smiling like, hey, Dad, you okay today? You know, like he started being my best friend. I was like, really? Like, get the fuck out of here. Like, that shit made me sick to my stomach. I was mad I even said anything. I'm like, I liked you better when you were an asshole. He was like sucking up to me. Like, you know, like, hey, like, you good, you're doing good. And like, he was, you know, it's like, oh, I don't want you to scream.
Weirdo energy.
Yeah, I was like...
Weirdo energy, bro. And that's one thing, I can't fuck with people with that complex. Like, if you're dealing with some type of shit within yourself, that is your problem. I don't give a fuck what happened to you as a kid. I don't care about I don't care about nothing about you. You are an employee and so am I. I'm here for a paycheck. I don't give a fuck about why you have this attitude.
Yeah.
Like, there's a lot of people who are straight assholes, the same way Dave works, you know, in kind of like a law enforcement setting, you know, kind of like, because you're, you know, you work in the same kind of setting as I do, kind of.
Right. Yeah.
Like the types of personalities that are around. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're just these people who are like, they get a different color shirt and now they're the shit.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Oh, they got a white shirt. I had to tell a dude at the beginning of the pandemic, like, you can't even get into my building without showing a badge and going through security. I get to the building, so you know if you see me there, I belong there. Right?
Yeah.
I'm wearing plain clothes because everybody was wearing plain clothes. They didn't want nobody wearing uniforms because the riots were happening and they were trying to fuck people up and anybody who was wearing cop shit or anybody who was like associated going into that building, they were trying to fuck with them, right?
Yeah,
so I go to the front of the building and there's a cop there and he's standing in front of the door that I gotta go through. And I have my headphones on, I take them off and I'm like about to approach and he's like, yeah, what's going on? And I'm like, nothing, I'm just trying to get in the building. He's like, have you been here before?
Oh my God.
And I was like, yeah, I've been here before. I work on the 3rd floor. He was like, all right, then you know what to do. And that shit got me so angry that I was like, yeah, I know what to do, but you're in the fucking way. I can't go through the door because you're there. Like, can I go?
Yeah.
Like, is there an issue here I don't know about? And he just moves out the way. Like, you got a cone in front of the fucking regular door and you're literally standing in the fucking revolving door talking to your boy. Yeah. Like, I got to get through to get my temperature taken. There's a whole army set up with machines and cameras to take your body temperature. And this motherfucker's giving me shit. Like, because he probably saw me wearing a hoodie and a hat. Like, I belong here.
Is that a tattoo I see?
Yeah, he was like, oh, then you know what to do. Like, all right, you're in the fucking way though. And he steps out the way and I go through and I'm like, what the fuck was this shit?
Yeah.
Like, did I really just have to talk to this dude like this?
Yo, that reminds me, another, at the same spot with that douchey engineering guy, the same exact hospital. I had to be there at 6 a.m. to do an inspection on the OR. Operating rooms, operations start at like 7 a.m. everywhere. So we had to be there dumb early. I walk in, the guy, we do our temperature check, we sign in, and the security guard's like, you know where to go? And I said, yeah, because I had been there before. But when I turned, I was like, oh shit, wait, is it on the operating rooms? I couldn't remember if they were on the basement level or on the first floor. So I was like, I knew the direction and where to turn, but the whole building's the same. So I'm like,
Right.
I was like, 1 second though, my bad. I walked and I came back, like 30 seconds later, and I'm just like, my bad. Actually, are the ORs on this floor or the bottom floor? I'm like, I know what. It's like, oh, this is why I fucking get mad. And I was actually to know what floor it's on. I know where to go, bro. Just tell me what floor it's on. He's like, yeah, it's on this floor. And I was like, all right, that's all you had to say. Why are you bugging out on me? He's just like, like, people be thinking they could talk to you like however. I'm like, yo.
I'm like, bro, you need a hug? You good?
Yeah.
You need a coffee?
That shit don't work out.
You need a
already
coffee?
saw what used to.
You all right?
You remember what used to happen at Cablevision? That shit was full of people like that.
Yeah, the
I used to
leads.
bark on
When you were saying that,
Marina.
oh my, like different color shirt. I was like, the leads. That's what popped into my head.
I used to bark on Marina. Like, I straight up told her, I don't fucking like you. You remember that, Daniel?
Yeah,
When I was like,
hell yeah.
I used to bark, and then Nario one time, he's like, oh, why are you out of your seat? And I was like, Nario, don't play with me, man.
I'm a full-blown adult.
He was like, oh, what are you talking about? I'm not Jen, because we used to fuck with Jen all the time. And he was like, oh, I'm not Jen, not Pfeffer.
Right.
Yeah, he used to be like, oh, don't talk crazy. I'm not Jeff. And I was like, this is me in front of his desk while Isaac is on a one-on-one with him. And I was like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Like, I don't give a fuck if you're Jen or not, my man. Talk to me like you would talk to me in the street. Why are you talking crazy while I'm out of my seat? I'm in front of your desk. So what? What the fuck are you talking about? You came over here telling me that the training is 15 minutes. It's 45. What the fuck are you talking about? Like, tell me the right info. What the fuck are you talking about? And calm down. Why are you getting so crazy now? Because you playing games with me, bro. You see, now when this guy comes out, you don't want to talk no more, right?
Yeah.
Let's talk.
Yeah.
Like, fuck out of here with that. Bottom line, you support creep shit or that kind of corny ass mentality, you are a fucking cornball.
Exactly, and that's the problem.
you
People
just
fall
creepy.
for that shit. It's that whole power dynamic, like that. I forgot the name of this test. There's like a whole movie about it where they do the mock. Jail scene, and people really they start following all their directions. I'm like, it's fake. Like, if I was in a study, I couldn't be in a study like that. I'd be like, get the fuck out of here. You ain't no real cop. I ain't gonna listen to you. Like, they had them doing all kinds of crazy. What the hell's the name of the something experiment or whatever?
I remember they did that at wasn't it was it at Princeton or Harvard, or it was at a pretty good
I think it was like UCLA or something like that.
Ivy League. Yeah, it might have been
It's something like
League
that.
school.
Yeah, and
listen,
They fucked each other
the
up.
prison, the something prison experiment. Yeah, and people were really listening to the fake guards. I'm like, nah, that wouldn't work with me.
You wild. Like,
even the fake guards started doing fucked up shit.
Yeah, because the people were listening. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
like,
they were like, I felt terrible. They're like, I think the dude who ran it said the guards are more fucked up than the prisoners because the guards were changed into people. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
that's what I'm saying. Power screw.
they're like, I wasn't that person. Like, what the fuck did I become?
That's why when you see these prisoners, like, think about that. That's an experiment, and these dudes thought they had power.
Exactly.
Right?
Well, they did. They were given that power.
No, yeah, they were given the power.
The
but
other
they
people
believed
gave
that
it to
they
them.
that they earned it. They believed that they had a right to treat people a certain way because of giving this power, but they weren't even real guards, right? Think about what happens when somebody who's been bullied, who's been a bitch his whole life, who's been getting smacked in the face on the block all the time, got his sneakers stolen, gets mushed in front of the girl he likes, pussy dudes, straight punks. That's NYPD, 20-30% of them motherfuckers is punks. This is the demographic I'm talking about. You want to know why? Because I've seen it. I seen dudes that used to get herbed out wearing a uniform now. And it's like, okay, I see what you did there. You got them 60 credits, and now you got that gun. You buff now. Now you want to act up. Now you're gonna act like you the law because that's what the fuck happens when you give. It's like you know how in movies they always portrayed like the nerdy girl or the nerdy dude who has a glow up and he's extremely successful, and now he's just an asshole to everybody.
Yeah.
Because that's the same shit. It's like, you know,
Minus the glow up part though.
Yeah.
There's no glow up.
Yeah,
involved.
minus the glow up part. Minus
You're just
the
an
glow up
asshole
part.
now.
Like, but the whole idea of like, oh, I used to get bullied and look at me now, like I'm the shit, and now you eat your heart out. Except these motherfuckers want to harm people because they got like these complexes, and it's like, bro.
Well, obviously, man, it's the human condition.
Yeah.
Because even the richest man on earth, he's got everything, and all he wanted to do was send a dick to space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, bro, all this money, and you still just want to show everybody your dick.
I can't believe
Come
Austin
on.
Powers called that shit. That shit had me dying. Bezos.
Yeah, you know what it is, man? It's I don't understand it, bro. Like, I just feel like there's so many things that deserve the attention. I feel like this sexual harassment shit touches a nerve just because it's such a think about you having to really feed your family. There's a lot of women that don't have no financial stability to lean back on. They don't have a husband who's working or a boyfriend who's, you know what I'm saying? Like, and a woman doesn't need these things. I grew up, my mom was a single parent. You know what I'm saying? I know what it is. So nobody could tell me shit. I know that women could get it done. All I'm saying is that when you put a woman in a position where she's worked her whole fucking life to get here and she has nothing else to fall back on but this is what makes her want to have to put up with this bullshit. And these assholes, they sniff that shit out. You know what I'm saying? They see what someone has to lose and they're like, you don't want to lose this job, right? You're making 6 figures and you're doing this. All you got to do is fucking get with the program. And they start trying to figure out ways to like cope with this shit, and that's fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Imagine having to go to work every day, and every day is, you know, it's gonna be some weird shit. Like, we're talking about this whole subject, and this is, I feel like I have to mention this, but one of these girls committed suicide because she was already, you know, like exposed to so much intense sexual shit that was going on in the offices that she was on a flight with one of the executives or something, and he had brought lubricant and butt plugs with him.
Wow.
Like, because he had intentions of, like, you know, obviously doing shit with her. And she killed herself after that.
This was
because she felt like...
This is in the Activision?
Yeah, this is... Yeah.
Holy
Look,
shit.
the lawsuit also cites one particular incident where a female employee who was already subjected to intense sexual harassment at the company committed suicide during a work trip with a male supervisor who allegedly brought inappropriate sexual items with him on the trip.
Wait, she killed herself during the work trip?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
She committed suicide during a work trip, and the reason for that is because she had already experienced this shit. So she was convinced this dude is going to be another guy who's going to try to take advantage of her, or maybe it was the same guy, and she just didn't have it in her to put up with that shit. She'd rather die than deal with a motherfucker doing what he did to her.
Fuck that. And the thing is, he brought this shit knowing that...
He brought the shit knowing. That's the shit I'm talking about. Why the fuck are we sitting here talking about that? This guy should be beat the fuck up, killed, or thrown in prison. There's nothing else. He should lose his fucking... The same way motherfuckers lose their license to practice medicine and shit, you should get stripped of your fucking degree. Get this shit out of here, bro. Like, you're not getting a job no more. You fucking creepy. You don't lose that. That creep behavior, that shit don't go away.
Not like that.
This shit
You need to get the fuck out of society if you think like that. That's the shit you do.
We need enforcement. This all comes down to we got no real enforcement of anything.
There's no real enforcement.
Because this shit happens, like, this got to be something that start developing when you're young, and it just goes and goes and goes, and no one ever, you know, you get caught and as a kid, and then you get caught and he's still young, and it's a slap on the wrist, and then, you know what I mean? Just there's no enforcement in any walk of life, really. Like,
it's all culture. It's like
anywhere you go, bro. Even in the justice system, people skate. Like you said, dudes are raping and they get away with, 5 years probation and some programs.
Shit is sickening. You know what I'm saying? And the part that fucks me up is that it is a cultural thing because America has to, bro. You understand that Japan, that's like, what's their workforce over there? Like for video game companies, like it's like, and it's insanely overwhelmingly male.
Oh yeah.
In Japan. But in Japan, they don't even fuck. The population is going down.
I was
Like
gonna say Japan has a whole.
Japan has a
that's
whole thing with
yeah.
sex. Like they're mad awkward with that shit now.
Yeah, their whole shit is
Like,
weird, man.
there's literally companies that you could hire, and like you could go to places where you pay these girls to just lay with you in bed and cuddle. No sex shit. Like
Yeah.
people are out there paying for companionship. Like there's guys out there that women will hire them just to act like their boyfriend for the night. No sex involved. They'll just hang out with them, go do stuff that a boyfriend would.
Yeah.
Women are looking for the boyfriend experience without wanting to deal with the actual boyfriend, and the same thing goes for men. So out there, the population is like, it's crazy, it's weird shit going on, but you can see that there's like
Yeah.
a difference in how they handle shit over there versus how they handle them out here. Out here, you got a bunch of like that frat mentality. That's unfortunately a very normal thing. Like once you hit 18 and go to college, you watch all these old school movies. It's like, dude, college fucking girls. Oh fuck, man, I'm gonna get plastered every day and fucking have sex. You don't realize a lot of these women ain't there for that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. Well, I mean,
A lot of these women
them
really
are,
want.
but-
A lot of them are, but a lot of them don't, bro. Everybody wants to. Let's be honest. Everybody wants to get it on. Everybody wants to
Yeah.
have fun, but not in that way. These motherfuckers
That's what I'm
come in
saying.
there with this sexual rage, like they didn't fuck in high school. They're weirdos, man. Like there's
And that's
no.
the
I
thing.
never.
Yeah, there's no excuse because even like I'm thinking, even in the movies that you rage, you know, you can think of any frat movie, even The Hangover, and none of those movies do they do the weird. You know what I mean? At no point are they torturing the females. Are they doing this weird shit? You know what
Yeah,
I mean?
like
They're
this
not
weird
having power
hazing
trips.
shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you?
Revenge of the
dudes?
Nerds.
You guys
They're
are
not
corny.
Yeah, it's very
Like you gotta. I think for me, it comes down to
don't
like how they were raised and shit. Like you gotta have some type of pleasure from watching these women do shit. To like you said, the power, the submission, like wanting these people to submit to you. Like it's just it's no place for it in any workplace. Like these women are just
Yeah.
trying to make a fucking living, and it's something men don't gotta deal with.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you men don't gotta deal with that shit.
And let's
The-
just start
the-
paying women already. Like, why are we still not paying women the same amount? How is that?
I don't.
shit
That's what I'm
still-
saying. Like, what's the big like? That comes that
the
that all
fuck?
goes down to that.
Like, y'all
incel
do the same
structure.
job.
Yeah, exactly. What's wrong with
Yeah,
that?
like, I
what the, you
don't-
really?
Oh man.
And people really think that's not a thing. Like, I forgot
No.
where I had this conversation. They were like, "No, that's
Discuss your paychecks, people. Discuss your paychecks. None of us make enough money to be like, oh no, I can't tell you. Oh, they might come after my fucking phones. No, none of us make that sort of money. Just discuss it.
Yeah.
yeah."
That's how
It's
you
like
don't
you
get
look
robbed.
at movies like Anchorman, right? Where they make fun of like Veronica Corningstone
Yeah.
becoming like the first lead anchor woman and all the wild shit she had to go through.
Yeah.
Like the male sexual harassment and them making that movie spun a very shitty
Reality.
situation
Yup.
into something
Real
funny
shitty,
because that's
yeah.
really, and that's a real story, is it not? It's like loosely based on some real shit.
Probably something similar has happened all over
Yeah,
all over
the
America, probably.
Yeah, they've been modeled after real life news anchorman Harold Green, who worked KCST and KGTV in San Diego during the 70s and 80s.
Nice.
Like that's who they were like trying to.
Yeah, but see, they took a
Make 'em
shit.
look like-
I'm sure it was a shitty situation, turned it into a comedy, made him a hero, or ends up getting the girl at the end. And it's just like, yeah, I'm sure that
Right.
the person she's modeled after is probably not happy about, wouldn't be happy about how that shit was
Yeah,
portrayed.
exactly. Like
Yeah.
it's been going on for a long time. I just think when I hear shit like this, it's like, how the fuck does this happen?
Yeah.
It is like I want to get busy. I want to get down. This is this kind of shit I'm talking about. Like, while this is happening, you over here got motherfuckers defending dudes like Bill Cosby. It's like, how does these bro? What?
Yeah.
This is all the same shit to me. They're all
Yeah.
creeps.
Yeah.
Fuck them all.
Exactly.
The thing is now we gotta, because the shitty part about this too is this dude or whoever's in charge who watched this all go down and didn't stop any of it. He's gonna get a nice severance package, and then he's gonna go to another game company. Do the same shit.
I want to follow this shit because I didn't know about the
So-
suicide thing. That shit just made me sick to my stomach.
nuts.
Yeah, that made me
like I've
fucking-
never
that-
before ever wanted to say I'm not gonna buy a video game based on some fucked up shit a company did. That legit makes me say like I don't think I will buy the next
Nah,
fucking
yeah, I
Call
won't.
of Duty
I
or
won't
Activision
support.
shit.
I will not buy the next game. I swear, bro.
Yeah.
That kind of shit is really where it starts. You gotta hit them where it hurts.
I gotta follow this shit.
And that shit is terrible. You don't do that. Like, I don't like any Activision game enough to be cool with that kind of bullshit, bro. Fuck out of here.
Overwatch 2, guys.
That kind of shit.
Overwatch 2.
Nah, I'm already against that game,
I was gonna
bro.
say,
Fuck
I was
that.
already like, it already looks a
Fuck
little
that
sus,
game.
so.
I fucking hated Overwatch 2 from the first moment I saw it because it made no fucking sense. You know what they said in a nutshell? Overwatch 2 has all these new features and gameplay modes, and you don't even have to buy the second game.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
they marketed it as a huge upgrade, and the only reason you need to get the new game is if you want to play like one mode and like 3 new maps.
Yeah.
Fuck out of here.
Exactly.
I
Yeah, I don't know what they're doing with Overwatch.
So yeah,
2.
that's what I'm saying. Like, I want to follow this shit. I want to see what goes down because like there's like one of the like there's some stories that happen where it wasn't that crazy. Like in Ubisoft, one guy stepped down because he was cheating on his wife with a woman there, and that turned into a whole. I'm like, all right, whatever. Like dudes cheat, it happens. I know it sucks for the girl,
Right.
but it's like
Right.
again, it's just one of those shitty parts of life. Versus
Yeah, that has nothing to do with sexual. That's like a very morally. That's like a bad judgment.
yeah.
Call. That's something that you go through personally in your world. That has nothing to do with us. We don't even that whole moment in time of people apologizing for the shit they do in their personal life. That's absolutely ridiculous.
Exactly. That's what I'm like. Wait,
Yeah.
you really lost your whole job because you were just a scumbag in your personal life? I mean, not even like that bad. Like yes, it sucks. Don't get me
What
wrong.
if he loved her? He might have loved that woman. Damn it.
I doubt it. But anyway, what I'm saying is that that sucks,
You don't
and he
know.
shouldn't have done that. To the because I think it was an employee. That's what it was. He cheated on his wife with an employee or whatever.
Right,
But
yeah.
still, it's like that's okay. I'm not gonna blame the whole company. That was private, whatever. But this shit, like somebody killed themselves, like you really were like had a fucking torture package with you on on a business trip. Like that shit sounds so fucked up. That I'm like,
I don't even know how to start packaging that.
Yeah,
like they're like
Where does
as
that
much as
even-
people don't want to hear it. It's like people don't want to hear about people cheating on each other and all that. Like, bro, nobody's saying that's good.
right.
I'm just saying that there's nothing there. Like if a guy, like even if a woman does it, if a woman slips up and fuck, like first of all, let's stop that. We talk about. I find myself trying to like fucking defend like the whole male species in terms of like cheating and shit. It's like we're not the only ones that cheat. You girls be fucking doing wild shit. Stop it. Like
They do it a lot better.
y'all do this shit way better than men.
Unfortunately, it's
Stop it.
You
Heartless.
say that, and it's like, yes, I have a lot of people that I know personally who are going through issues with their marriage. It was, I mean, from the way they say it, obviously, it's they got cheated on badly too. You know what I mean? Several people that I've met, over the internet, things like that. So it's like, yeah, it's definitely
Absolutely.
big on the woman's side, a lot. Yeah.
Yeah, it's huge, and it's like there's no pointing fingers. People fall out of love. People get into these situations where, it could be a very intense thing. You have these two people who connect on some sort of level, and things just happen, right? You're hurting the people involved in that situation. There isn't necessarily any malice involved. In fact, the reason why it turns into such a messy, shitty situation with lies and everything is because the people involved give a shit about the other person's feelings.
Right.
So they want to lie about it so they don't have this happen.
Yeah.
But the truth of the matter is there's nothing there. I can't look at a guy and tell him you're a predator, you're a creep because you cheated on your wife. No. I don't know what the fuck goes on with you and your wife when you're not around. I don't know how many times a week she's not home and doing other shit. I don't know if you guys see each other. I don't know how often you guys are intimate.
Exactly.
I don't know none of these things. So that doesn't have shit to do. I'm talking about motherfuckers who see a woman and automatically it's I want that.
Exactly.
It's like, no, okay. A guy could say that, like, damn, that is fuck. Oh my God. Like, I need that in my life. All right, you go and you pursue that regular as fuck. Try to break the ice, get a number. These days, it would be getting like an IG handle, I guess, because that's the new wave.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you do it the way you normally do it, and you see how that goes down. Traditional as fuck. There's like all this weird ass, like, bro, there's a whole category of people who want to be paid for services like that. Go holler at them. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Come on, we live in a day and age where motherfuckers is paying you bread out the ass just to see pictures of you looking naked.
Yeah.
On OnlyFans. OnlyFans is like bro, women don't need to be like. I guarantee you, those girls who are working at Activision could go do their own shit and be successful.
No, it's true.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
Probably, yeah.
You know how many fucking female or women game developers or creators, designers, artists might have been hugely successful by now if it wasn't for some dickhead in a suit studying their growth who is mad that she didn't want to fuck him.
Exactly, and that's probably why a lot of our creatives, a lot of gaming is uncreative, because it's like, I wouldn't be surprised that it's like, the women who would have brought that heat now, were kept, were kept back. Yeah, so
yeah, honestly, I think what I see happening, unless it's like a thing already, I would think that an all women gaming company is definitely going to be on the horizon because of situations like this. If this doesn't spark it, another major event will. But there will be a company. There's going to be like the women who know they have that talent and that they know they don't want to deal with this shit. They're all going to just branch off and do their own company.
Exactly.
I see that happening. I see that. I don't know if it would be that easy for them because of the people in power probably try to fuck them on that too.
Mm-hmm. I think we just need to do a purge. You know what I mean? Just any motherfucker that that's ever done some just super creepy shit, like you just take a baseball bat. You know what I mean? just handle it. You know what I mean? We get a nice 48 hours to just go nuts and be like, yeah, I remember that time. Remember the time in the club,
what else is fucked
you
up?
shoved your hand up that chick's dress. She screamed. You laughed. You did it
know
again. This baseball bat's for you.
I'm also gonna point out something that a lot of people might not have thought about listening to this. We're hearing about these allegations and the executives and everybody involved and all that. That's what we're hearing from that. However, there are a good handful of people like CEOs and things that are women. A lot of the shit that they're letting slide, it's a woman at the top letting it happen too.
It happens.
Like a lot of times it's women who are down with it. Like you've heard of it in law enforcement, like sergeants and captains that just let women go through hell. Like fuck that. Like I knew that was happening, but I went through it, so whatever.
I was gonna say that's a whole other bag because that's women, how women treat other women, and that's a whole other
that, and you know how that
we probably could stay away from that. Then that's getting into like well, not really, but that's a bag of worms. But not for nothing. We should wrap it up. This was a great conversation. I know it veered different, veered way off than what we normally talk about, and we felt very strongly about this.
I think it's a topic that had to be. Yeah, we like to have fun here, but once in a while, when it comes to something like this, you gotta have the discussion because this is not no social justice shit. This is not leaning politically anywhere. Fuck all that. This is about having common sense and just being a decent human being.
Exactly.
Like, you don't get to be one of the most biggest companies in the world in gaming, and you literally depend. Like some of your best players in games like Call of Duty and shit are women. You know what I'm saying? Like, how the fuck do you let this happen?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And
this is
so. Yeah, it's fucking disgusting. So it's like that's why I was like, you know what? I saw it like veering, and it's just like, it's video games X life. You know what I mean? And that's part of life.
This is the X life.
Exactly. We haven't done an X life episode in a long time. So yeah.
And this relates very closely because I'd like to, it's like when you go to Whole Foods and you feel slightly better about buying your eggs because you say, oh man, that chicken wasn't fucking directly smushed next to 8 other chickens.
Right.
So it's like that. I'd like to be able to buy my next Activision game and I'd be like, damn, is this giving a bonus to some fucking piece of shit who did some weird fucking
Yeah, that's how I feel.
Exactly.
Like,
that's what I'm saying. I've never really felt that way. But hearing that shit is just like, yo, I don't even want to deal with that fucking company. Like
to that level?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah, and it's like I'm not. I would do it the same way. Like I've always felt strongly about that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like R. Kelly. Same thing. We going back to that earlier. Like I haven't put that man on a playlist.
Exactly. It's true. It's like that.
Do I know his music? Yes. Do I think the music was fire? Yes. Do you understand that track "When a Woman's Fed Up" is one of the most fire songs ever?
Yeah.
That track is fire.
Yeah.
He's a fucking creep. I don't want to bump that.
Exactly.
Like I feel weird knowing that people hear me bumping that. That shit makes me feel like I do the shit he does.
Yo, that's
like no, I don't.
That's
get
like a conversation about Space Jam came up, and about which one was better, 1 or 2, and then the dude says, yeah, but you know, Space Jam 1 had a fire soundtrack. I Believe I Could Fly, and they were like, "Did you really use R. Kelly as a basis for you to defend the movie?" And I was like, "That's the first thing I thought." I was like, "Yes, beautiful song, but it's R. Kelly that really like taints it. It really like when he said I Believe I Could Fly."
And the
R.
sad
Kelly,
part,
bro.
and the sad part is that we knew already. Everybody knew already. When the Women's Fed Up, when that came out, that was his the remix to Ignition. He had a little moment where he was just on every song, bro. Fiesta, like he was on one, bro. Like R. Kelly could not be stopped, and we all knew already. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of like that kind of shit gotta stop.
Yeah.
Shit was crazy.
I don't think we really took in. I don't think we really took in how serious it was.
Yeah.
Us being young ourselves, we didn't really
That's
think
true. I was
nothing
gonna
of
say
it.
because at the time I was probably like 15, 16 when that shit happened. So it's like, you know, that
Yeah, I was 16 years old.
So yeah, we were 16.
I was 16 years old when that shit dropped. So for me, hearing a 14-year-old is having sex, I'm looking at it like the girl's like 2 years younger than I am. I'm not really registering that this is a grown ass man doing
Exactly,
this.
because right now,
But everybody who was hell no, never. You never revisit. You would never want to revisit that shit.
Exactly.
Nah.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to watch that shit.
Exactly. And like it's a little ass girl. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, that kind of shit. It just play. It's just that industry in general, man. Anything where you hit a certain level, and you're gonna be in the public eye, like there's a lot of stuff that they just let happen, and it's sickening. You know, this kind of shit that we hear about tonight with suicides and Activision and all that. It's like, bro, it's the year 2021, and we just got out of a fucking pandemic. Like, this is really how y'all want to start this next quarter off.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's just weird. Again, if you're at the top of any food chain in any industry, you hear about these things. You understand how crazy it is? I hear one girl come out and say something like, yo, this guy did this to me. That man is out of there, bro. And it's not because I'm one of those believe all women dudes. It's just when there's proof, there's just no justifying it.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, yo, did you do that? Yeah, we were all partying, you know. Get the fuck out of here. Clean your shit and get out of here, bro. Well, did you come in hungover and had her doing your shit? All right, cool. Get the fuck out of here. Or you're working the next month for no pay. Which one do you want to do?
Yeah.
Like, get the... Nah, you know, he's out of there. He's out of there regardless because I don't want nobody having to deal with that shit.
Yeah.
Like, the people you choose to run your company or be the image or whatever, these people represent you as a whole. So the second I start seeing that Activision is known for all this weird shit, now they're the weird shit company.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to say no names. This has happened before. I have a friend, and this happened, and he worked for a very big company. One of the biggest. You know what I'm saying? You know who I'm talking about, Daniel. You know what I'm saying? He left for these reasons. You know what I'm saying? He had somebody that was close to him that was having these types of things happen to her, and he felt a certain way. He was like, nah, I can't be here for this. You know, on top of the way you motherfuckers treat us and have us working and doing all this crunch shit, and then you're gonna go and do this to someone that I'm close to? Nah, I'm out. And he bounced. And there's not enough people like that. Because if everybody thought like that, that whole shit would have been empty.
Yeah.
That's
You know
what I'm saying, man.
Like,
There's got to be enforcement. There's no enforcement. People just
there's
slide.
no enforcement. Nobody wants to
slide,
stick to
man.
their fucking guns. Everybody's worried about,
Yeah.
yo, I worked so hard to get here. I can't ruin it. The motherfucker, like, this isn't just about it being a stranger that's happening to. It's about the dudes around you are really on some sicky shit, and they're taking advantage of people. Like, that has nothing to do. It's not like, it's different. Like, you know how in certain jobs, certain things happen, and you're like, oh well, you know, I'm not gonna stress that shit because, you know, I'm doing my thing over here.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the boss has beef with Benny because Benny got here late 3 times in a row, and she's treating him like a dick now. Like, that's not my problem, bro.
Yeah.
Like, but when it's you doing creep shit, it's like, bro, like you're it's either that man is out of there or I'm out of there.
Yeah.
But yeah, all right, yeah. Like I said, I enjoyed this conversation a lot. Like I said, it was weird, but yeah, fuck it. Like, I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, it veered. I feel like it honestly didn't veer though. It feels like it was 100%.
Oh no, what I mean is I had a
little
had some talking points that we didn't hit today. So,
right.
nah. But you know what? Because like I said, as we were going through, I was like, you know what? It's all related. It's all related, and it's something that like there's not enough dudes even talking about this shit. Because a lot of times it's like, you know, it's either incel culture fucking bullshit or like, you know, it's you know, white knighting on a, you know, on a superficial level, and it's just like, nah, like we really just don't fuck with shit like that. And I would love to see. This is a story I really want to follow and see what's going down here, because the Activision is this is bad. This is bad.
Here's a hint: nothing's going to happen.
And that's what I'm saying. I think that's how I feel. Yeah.
The court case is going to be buried under whatever newspaper or whoever owns the newspaper, or who also owns most of Activision. They'll never write the story. I'll bury it, on page 53.
There's too much money going around, but
yeah, this shit ain't gonna go anywhere.
But yeah,
sad but true.
But I just wanna.
Yeah, you see, that's that kind of shit is this is why I say I foresee that happening. Like, they're sick of this shit too, and I feel like you deserve to be in a workspace where you don't have to worry about this kind of shit. Either get those dudes out of there, or let these women work in their own space where it's free of any type of fucking male influence. Because these dudes are obviously, like I said, either you're an enabler and you're letting it rock, or you're the guy doing it. All of you guys are fucking whack. Everybody, any man who watched that shit happen on a daily basis or heard about it and never said nothing, you're all fucking whack.
Exactly.
You're all fucking whack. All
There's
of y'all.
no one in there got like a wife or girlfriend? Everybody
like
was
y'all
just
are
like
all corny.
This is
You
legit.
all pussy, and you don't deserve to be successful.
Exactly.
Because you would let that kind of shit happen. You understand?
Yeah.
That's the same thing. Would you be cool with your sister working at a place like that, and every man turning a blind eye to her getting groped and shit, and making her crawl on the floor? Like,
bro, I'm setting that building on fire.
Bro, I will slap the dog shit out of someone and be like, you're quitting, obviously. Because they're gonna want to fuck with you more after what I just did to this man.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, you're out of there. Nah. Like, I would never let that shit happen, bro. I just think anybody in that world, it sucks. Especially coming from any company, small, big. If you're down with letting people get taken advantage of, you're just shit. You run a shit show, and fuck you and everybody involved.
Exactly.
Agreed.
All right, then. All right, guys. Well, like I said, this was a great conversation. Thank you, everybody, if you made it this far. I really appreciate you tuning in and listening to us rant on here. I mean, if you have any feelings, any comments, definitely leave some comments on the YouTube, or tweet at me, or scream at me, or something like that. But we'll definitely be back here next week with some video game talk. So this is the X Life portion of Video Games X Life, and I appreciate all of you. Thanks, guys.
Yeah.
Later.
Good night.
Later.